Prem Namaste and a heartfelt welcome to Sadhana, South Africa's finest Hindu magazine show with me, your host, Alisha Gaya Prasad. In the last episode of this season, we promised to keep you intrigued, engrossed, enlightened and mesmerized. In our lineup today, we traveled to Cape Town to observe the festival of Karthigai Deepam and then flex our muscles and joints in Yoga for Wellness with Dr Ansuyah Moodley. Moving forward, Radhika Gounden shares with us her recipe for delectable Tandoori Momos. Vishen Kemraj&Sons bring our series to an end today with a vibrant yet soulful devotional bhajan. Karthigai Deepam is a widely celebrated festival with its roots in the sacred town of Tiruvannamalai, where hundreds of thousands of pilgrims gather to worship a sacred light atop the holy Arunachala mountain. With a 300-meter cotton wick soaked in tons of ghee, the light is visible from more than 40 kilometers away. In South Africa, the scale of worship is much smaller and more so in COVID times. This festival is confined mainly to individual homes. Nevertheless, the significance of Karthigai Deepam is deep and spiritual. Sadhana was privileged to join Cape Town's Patrick and Lynette Pillay to witness this prayer and learn more of its significance. Let's have a look.
Community, the Tamilians especially, observe Karthigai Deepam. Now, there's a beautiful history behind it, but to just very quickly touch on it, it is believed that on this particular auspicious night of Karthigai, in the month of Karthigai, when Karthik, the ascending star, shines on Tiruvannamalai, it's like a pillar of light that connects the earth to heaven. And Shiva Peruman is worshipped as Karthigai. In that particular month, I want to perhaps take a little time, and I feel I need to mention this. Majority of us in South Africa would not have known of Karthigai Deepam if it was not for our Guru Swamigal, who took birth in South Africa in 1910. He introduced, and incidentally that wasn't his first birth, he had taken many births before, a great saint who was born in South Africa, brought Saivism to the community and made people aware of the importance, the significance, the history of Karthigai Deepam. So what we do is, when we do an opening prayer, we invoke God and we invite God to our premises. And we say, Vava Yendun Sivame, as you said. Come, come, my God, Lord. Vandarul Sevai Nada. Arul, bless us. We are your devotees. We are lost in this wilderness. This world is so full of darkness. Help us remove the darkness. How are we going to remove the darkness outside if we cannot remove the darkness? You know, we have today so many of them. It's a bit of a harsh term to use, like in a hypocritical situation. They profess to be good, but they practice the wrong things. Now, we might not say it, but Shiva Peruman is saying it. Coming back to the prayer, so we invoke God's blessing, anything that we do. And the underlying principle of Saivism is pray, pray, pray to God.
Well, COVID has actually brought our family down, and it was emotionally draining for us. And because of our strong beliefs, especially with Lord Shiva, what happened is my husband was hospitalized, Patrick was hospitalized. I was laid in bed. So both my boys, Aven and Tashen, basically had to take care of us. They had to run to the hospital like almost every day and take care of me, give me my medication, feed me, because I actually literally couldn't get out of bed.
Well, at first we were in denial because both my parents had just gotten their vaccine, so we just thought, after effects of the vaccine, it wouldn't be that bad. They'll get better in a few days. And then it just got progressively worse and worse to the point where they could barely walk. And then I had to drive them to the hospital, had to get them COVID tested, and then the results came back positive, and then that meant lockdown for us for 2 weeks straight, no going anywhere, no seeing anyone, not even going to the shop. And that was very difficult for my brother and I because we were so used to our parents helping us with everything, and then we had to step up, we had to take over the housework, cleaning, as well as looking after my parents. I had to put my studies on hold for a bit, even though I had assignments due, just had to prioritize my parents over everything else.
Prayer is so significant because it's good over evil, it's a triumph of light over darkness. So you push the darkness away, and that's one of the main reasons we light the agals and the vilakas, because to have light in your house and push the darkness away, and that is why Karthigai Deepam is so important, especially in households, and to say to light all your vilakas in every corner of your house is to remove all the darkness.
Well, it's been a very long time since I've actually partaken in any prayer due to COVID. But it was quite a special day to sort of get a sense of normalcy back. Sitting in front of the harmonium, experiencing a group of people singing, praying, and then being of age, being old enough to hold the lamp and actually carry it and put it on the roof.
We had this Karthigai Deepam prayer in a home, in a house. Wonderful devotees, very loyal Shiva Bhaktis. And it shows that whilst we might not be able to go to our normal place of worship, the temple, which is ideal, it does not mean it stops there. We do not take that advantage and say, like some people have done, we're not going to the temple because the temple is closed because of COVID-19. But man must make sure that he implements measures to maintain and sustain that. So now these big festivals, not only Karthigai Deepam, Shivaratri, Shakti Ma Shakti, now it is observed at homes.
Welcome back. Yoga is a moving meditation where the breath, movement and stillness fall into a rhythm. The Surya Namaskar mudra is a flowing set sequence of postures developed more than 2,500 years ago in reverence to the sun, giving you a full body workout and drawing you into fluid moving meditation. In today's yoga session, Dr Ansuyah Moodley presents the 12 poses that make up the Surya Namaskar mudra.
Namaste. In today's yoga session, we're going to focus on Surya Namaskar. This is a sequence of 12 asanas, and it is done as a salutation to the sun. And you'll find that when you do the Surya Namaskar, from time to time, as you become more and more mindful during the practice, your awareness will improve. And with that, your connectedness with the body, the breath, and the consciousness will intensify. So let's get started. Let's stand at the front of your mat. Get into Pranam Asana in Namaskara Mudra. And this is against the heart chakra, the Anahata chakra. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Then very gently move both the hands all the way up, as far up as you can, tilt the body backwards, bend the head, and as you go into Asta Uttanasana, breathing in. And as you exhale, come all the way down, taking both the hands to the feet, placing the hands on either side of both the feet, taking you to Asta Padasana, hands to feet. Take the right foot all the way back into a lunge in the Asvan Sanchala Asana, breathing in. Take the left foot back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Hold the breath. From head to toe, the body should be in a plank position that is linear or in one line. Then go into Ashtanga Namaskar, 8-limbed pose, head taking the knee, chin, and the chest all the way down. The 8 limbs of the body are the 2 hands, the 2 knees, the 2 feet, and the chin and the chest. As you breathe in, come into Bhujangasana, or the cobra posture, from navel upward all the way up. Exhale, go into Parvatasana, downward facing dog. Drop the head. Both the feet at the back should be flat on the ground. You may need to adjust this slightly, bring it forward if you find that it is not flat on the ground. Very gently bring the right foot forward between the 2 arms. Again into Asvan Sanchala Asana, looking forward. Breathe in. Bring the left foot forward. As you go down to Asta Padasana, drop the head as you breathe out. Very gently take both the hands all the way up, taking you to Asta Uttanasana, breathing in, going as far back as you can, drop the head, and back to Pranam. Asana in Namaskara Mudra against the heart chakra. Exhale. That forms one round of Surya Namaskar. We now do it to the left hand side.
Thank you for staying tuned to Sadhana. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Kochi to Kolkata, tantalizing steamed momos marinated with a punch of Indian spices is a scrumptious go-to meal. From India to South Africa, on our conscious cooking menu, our regular Radhika Gounden shares with us her recipe for Tandoori Momos. Enjoy!
Sai Ram, Namaste, Vanakkam, Jai Gurudev. Welcome to Conscious Cooking on Sadhana. Today we prepare a delightful dish that is popular around the world. In India it's known as momos, and you will find it being sold at practically every street corner. I have prepared a soya chicken filling. Now the key to a good dumpling filling is to ensure that it is a dry filling. What you don't want when preparing your pot stickers is the liquid from your filling seeping through the dough. So you want it dry enough that it will keep the shape of the dumpling. I've measured here 140 grams of basic white flour, 80 ml of boiling water. A pastry cutter is actually a very handy tool when making dumplings. Some flour, a dredger for dusting flour while you prepare your wrappers. Now this is something not everybody knows about. This is actually very handy to have when you're making dumplings. When you form your dough, you let it rest in this packet, you seal it, it gives it a nice moisture. And as you're rolling out your wrappers, you want to keep your little wrappers in there until you're ready to roll them out so that they don't dry out. I want to show you how easy it is to make wrappers. It actually does not take too much time, and you will find that it is very quick to get some wrappers. If your mixture is a little too moist, you can just sprinkle a little bit of flour. Let it form into a nice ball. I'm gonna now Sprinkle here so that it doesn't stick to the counter. So I'm just going to roll out my dough. Out. Just going to add a little bit more flour. If it's too soft and you find it sticking too much, flour. So you've got water and flour, you made it into a lovely dough like this. It should be a little bag that you can seal up preferably. Right, I'm just going to allow it to rest a little bit. Seal it up. And it gives me a few minutes to just clear my counter so I can make space for rolling my wrappers. Now that we've had our dough resting a little bit, we are ready to plonk this out here. Yes, nice and soft, ready to go. Just give it a few folds. Right, you roll it out a little bit. You got a nice long roll there. I just try to divide it, cut it a little bit here, like that. See why I say a pastry cutter is such magic in the kitchen. Every kitchen should have one. So there you have it. I roll it in a bit of flour and I stick it back into my good old faithful little plastic. So if you're one of those people that like perfectly round wrappers, I'm not, but this is how you can cheat. Instead of rolling individual ones, you roll out your entire dough and you just cut it out. There you have it. A perfectly round little pot sticker wrapper. You'll need a little bit of plain water. Your filling should be on hand. This is how I do it, and I want to share my secrets that I've learned over time with you. You just hold your hand like that. You slip it in there, like that. Slip it. Dip your fingers in some water. Dab the edges here. Not too much of water because then otherwise it won't stick when you're folding over. My filling goes in. You don't want to fill it too much because these are supposed to be like bite-sized things, you know, not big things, because obviously you don't want them losing their shape. So I've got it like that. And this is one technique. You fold the edges together, sort of like a steamed poli. You fold your edges together. In the interest of showing you the varieties and how versatile making dumplings is, I do have a steamer basket. It's a double layer one. So you can set up your dumplings here. This is the green one I've used with spinach to give it that lovely green color. I've boiled some water. Your water must be boiling already, and you need a vessel that has a lid. I'm going to put in my basket, and you must make sure that the water does not reach the bottom layer of your dumpling because you don't want soggy dumplings. So I'm just going to add this here. You need to watch the time. You don't want overcooked dumplings. So give it about 10 to 15 minutes and yes, we'll await this piping hot dumpling. So after 10 or so minutes have passed, you can check your dumplings. Steamed buns, and you get a nice facial as well. There you have it, a versatile dish for any occasion, and something for everyone to tuck in it as a finger food, as a main meal. For those that are health conscious, you steam, you can fry, you can roast, you can even put this in a soup. I'm just going to add a little bit of soy sauce and do enjoy your dim sum.
That show was yummy. Swami Vivekananda states that music is the highest art, and to those who understand, it's the highest worship. We close off the show with a melodic bhajan performed by Vishen Kemraj&Sons. From the Sadhana team, keep shining your beautiful divine light into the world. Vanakkam.
शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा हे त्रिलोकनाथ शंभु है शिवाय शंकरा नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा हे त्रिलोकनाथ शंभु है शिवाय शंकरा नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा हे त्रिलोकनाथ शंभु है शिवाय शंकरा